decided to suspend four routes. So my first question for you, what is the plan for the airport in Craiova? What does Wizzair
Well,
has in store for Craiova?
well, we have many long-term plans, but the news here, I think, and the important piece of information is the return of the second-based aircraft. So we always think about, you were discussing routes, but for me, the key point of decision is allocating an aircraft to the base. So as you know, today we are one aircraft base in Craiova. We're bringing back aircraft number two. So in practice, we are reinstating routes to Dortmund and to Madrid, and we are launching new routes to Bari and Memmingen. So this is the substantial piece of information. In practice, this means a 60% increase in the seat capacity right in the summer. We start flying this aircraft from June. This is a great news, I believe, for the region, for the city, for the population, also for our dear with crew who will be flying this aircraft.
Uh, did you mention Barcelona?
No, I mentioned uh, Memmingen, Bari, Madrid, and Dortmund.
What about Barcelona then? It was one of the
Well, we are
routes.
always looking at all options. I mean, there's only so much we can do with one aircraft. We like to offer products which are multiple frequencies a week. So we are targeting the ones we believe have the most immediate potential and are aligned with the region's interests. But we will keep an eye open for additional opportunities, Valentin.
So
This is
so
not where we stopped in Craiova for sure.
so you said starting June, the second
Yes,
airplane returns to Craiova. So we'll have two airplanes based here.
yes, correct. Two very state-of-the-art 320 Neos, which are some of the most fascinating, sustainable pieces of aircraft available in the market right now. So these are very modern mechanics that we are putting into the region. I mean, that's the least we can do for such an amazing new terminal, right? I think it's the best moment possible. I was personally in Craiova just a little under 2 weeks ago, and I visited the construction site of the new terminal, and I saw the new infrastructure being put in place, and it's just amazing. And I think we're living up to our responsibility as the commercial airline operating out of Craiova and bringing in this very well deserved additional capacity.
You know that the new terminal can host almost 2 million passengers a year.
Honestly, I think it can do even a bit more, judging by what I see, both in the already built and what I saw in the project. I think if managed well, we can do even a bit more. So I think Craiova will have the airport it deserves, and I think it will only set up the field for additional growth in the future as well.
And how can you increase the number of passengers in the future?
Well, first of all, as I just mentioned, we add another aircraft. This gives us new routes, but also increased frequencies in existing routes. So we are going to fly more into London, more into Charleroi, more into Birmingham, Bologna, and Rome. So we increase also the frequencies on already existing routes. So the famous when we're trying to book and the flight is sold out, that won't happen as often now. So additional opportunities for the population of the region to fly. We add the new routes. And as I mentioned to you, this is a 320 Neo aircraft. Well, Wizzair, as we grow into our 500 fleet, which is our objective by the early 2030s, we will gradually replace these aircraft with 321s, which have 50 more seats each. So as the market re-matures and we see the potential, In the future, we either add more aircraft or we upgauge the existing ones into bigger aircraft. So that's how we can reach more passengers in the region.
So you intend to upgrade your policy on all the airports in Romania or only Craiova?
No, this is something that listen. We are a pan-European airline. In Wizzair Malta, which falls under my responsibility, it's Romania, Italy, Austria, and Albania, and soon Moldova. And by far, Romania is my biggest market, and it's one of the group's crown jewels. We are very proud to be market leaders in Romania. We have more than 50%. I believe we have 53% market share in Romania. We aim to be the preferred airline of Romanian citizens, regardless of where they live. We already have six bases in the country. So tremendous potential all across Romania. We believe very, very deeply that our DNA is completely bound to the profile of market which Romania gives us. We are pan-European, but at our core we are Central and Eastern European. So I can only see growth coming into Romania. We just announced recently one more aircraft into Ottopen, as you might have heard of. A few weeks ago we announced it, so now we are here announcing the second aircraft coming back to Craiova. And who knows, in a few more weeks I hope to be announcing more and more growth in Romania in general, because I think that's the way, and that's the market is there and the potential is huge.
I want to ask you about the second airplane. When it was retired, we were said that there was some kind of problems of maintenance. Is it true? And if true, what can you do to make it not happen again? Or what happened? If you can shortly elaborate on this.
Very, very shortly, there was a well-known, it wasn't a maintenance problem. It was an engine manufacturing issue. So our engine of choice, there are two engines of choice for this type of aircraft. We chose one of them. And this manufacturer, Pratt & Whitney, had an issue in their production lines, which was very publicly discussed. But such as happens sometimes with the cars, there was a recall of the engines. So all engines of a certain model, of a certain fabricated in a certain period, would have to be removed from the aircraft and go through actually a not super complex workshop task. What happens is the supply chain is not prepared for suddenly an inflow of more than 1,000 engines. So they could not have the capacity to just remove, fix, and give us back. So the time between removing the engine and having it back from the shop became extremely, extremely long. So as you accumulate engines waiting to be induced into these workshops, we had to start grounding our aircraft. So we had the aircraft, but we hadn't enough engines to fly them. So as we speak right now, the Wizz Group still has more than 35 aircraft grounded, but at its worst moment, they were almost 50. So what happened was, this process started last year. We grounded, so as these engines had to come down for replacement, we had to start grounding aircraft. Now, enough time has gone by that we are getting the engines that we removed initially, they are now coming back. So as they come back, we reactivate the aircraft that were parked without engines, and they come back into the markets from which they went out. So that's what drove the need to remove this aircraft, and now that we are overcoming the problem, we can reinstate and we can bring these markets up to the level that they used to be.
It is important that you mention that, because people were afraid that Wizzair, being the only air company on this airport, they were afraid that you might leave.
Listen, I came, as I mentioned to you a couple of weeks ago, I looked eye to eye with our crew, and they were also asking that question. Are we at risk? And I actually came to say, no, we are not. We are growing. So it's very important to us, Valentin. These are markets that we are very proud to be the only operator, and there's a responsibility that comes with that, not only to develop the market, but to develop the sector, our employees, and protect them. So leaving a base with only one aircraft hurts, but it is what we needed to do to make sure we kept our foot inside the door, and we would come back strong. And here we are finally doing it.
Wonderful. Okay, what about the prices of the tickets? Because of the inflation, the prices tend to rise. Is there any policy you want to implement in the future? Some bonuses, or I don't know what you may think of.
Our policy is very simple, Valentin. We are an ultra low cost company. We keep our costs down as much as we can, and with that we can offer the most competitive prices possible to make flying available to everyone, and in a democratic way, in a way that it's inclusive. So all our core business is about delivering the cheapest possible tickets, which of course, if our costs rise, it's not so easy, but we do a very, very strong job in keeping our costs down. So what I can tell you is on the basic fares, we have the body route as low as 15 euros or 79 RON, Memmingen as low as 129 RON, 25 euros. Dortmund also from 25 euros, Madrid from 30 euros. So if you as a traveler find the best setup to fly with Wizz, I'm very sure you will find a competitive ticket that you can afford. That's our business.
How can you get these small prices? Because I know that the airport taxes have increased all over the world, especially in Europe. Mm-hmm. How can you manage to keep the prices in a reasonable range, so to speak?
Well, we are obsessively efficient. This is our motto here, and that's what I think any decent low-cost carrier, that's what we do. We keep our costs low. We take care of our operational efficiency. We fly the newest aircraft in the market because they consume less fuel, and we fly them a lot. And that's how the whole business model is built around. Flying the most out of your assets. So our aircraft fly more than 12 and a half hours a day. If you average out the whole year, they fly more than 12 and a half hours a day. And I think we are industry leaders in that sense, in our segment. Of course, you might have very long haul carriers which do a 17-hour flight, but on an ultra low cost environment, we fly these aircraft a lot, and this production drives our costs down. And of course, as you know, we have dense aircraft, so the number of seats per aircraft is high, and that's the way we drive it. On every aspect of the business, we are obsessively cost efficient.
The industry is facing some challenges like never before. What do you think about the short-term future in this industry?
I don't think we are completely out of the whole COVID cycle. I think COVID left scars which are very long-lasting, where all the pieces of this sector had to rebuild themselves from the whole supply chain. So aircraft manufacturers, engine manufacturers, airports, ground handlers, airlines, air traffic control, maintenance. So all these companies had to rebuild themselves as some of the people left the sector, as the sector almost stopped for a couple of years. And now we are finally coming back. Even though I think Wizz was ahead of the curve, as we were the first airline in Europe to reach pre-pandemic levels, and we are now well beyond 150% or 140% of our pre-COVID levels. The industry as a whole is only now reaching 100% of pre-COVID. So now the other carriers finally caught up with us, and the rest of the ecosystem is still to different levels in this rebuilding stage. So We did have a few tough summers in the past couple of years, but some of these players are now up to speed, and I think the next barrier is air traffic control. So ATC is still not staffed up to the level we wished, and we saw this last summer. That was a very, very big challenge. We are working closely.
Our talk, you said the second airplane returns to Craiova. You mentioned 4 new routes. New, kind of saying. But something new? Give us the news. Except that which is a good one. Something new, something extraordinary that you intend for Craiova. Maybe not next year, maybe in 2026.
I wish I could go that far. We are still being, I'd say, cautious, and we are growing back responsibly because we saw what is the pain and the repercussion of taking steps back. So now when we take steps forward, we make sure they are solid, very solid in the point that there is no turning back. So I think the strategy for Craiova specifically now is embrace this new infrastructure, give it this additional aircraft, let the market bounce back and show its resilience. And as soon as the conditions are met, then we discuss either to make these aircraft bigger or to bring more. But what I can completely promise you is that Craiova is on the radar. It will always be, and as soon as the conditions are there, we want to grow more.
What's the threshold that could determine you to improve traffic on Craiova?
That's a very hard question.
Above 1 million, above 1 million passengers.
No. I mean, there's only so many we can carry with these seats, right? I mean, in total, we will be deploying something like 600,000.
Yeah.
No, actually more. Maybe Anastasia might help you with the final number, but I believe we'll be deploying something like 800,000 seats in the Craiova market. But don't quote me on that number yet.
Let me check, and I will revert to you, Valentin, with Danielle.
So let's see the exact number. But first of all, these seats, I need to sell all of them, and I hopefully will sell all of them. And then, as I mentioned to you, we don't have enough aircraft to do everything we want to do. That's the game here. We have more intentions and great ideas and great plans, but we simply don't have enough aircraft. As of now, almost 40 of our aircraft are gliders with no engines, parked somewhere, which is extremely sad for me to see. So when I have these aircraft available to me, then we need to decide where and what sequence to deploy them. So now came the time of Craiova. 2 weeks ago was the time of Bucharest. In a few more weeks, who knows whose time it will be. And then we'll be coming back to this whole logic. And when the timing is right, well, fingers crossed, we'll be coming back here with some more good news.
For now, Wizzair is the only company operating on the airport in Craiova. What about the competition? What if another operator comes to Craiova?
Let them come. Let them come. I think we all think here that competition is healthy. Competition forces you to be at your best, at your most efficient, and ultimately benefits the passengers as well. They have more options because different airlines have different types of business models. So maybe they operate into destinations that the other doesn't. Maybe they offer a completely different service that's more tailored to their needs. So competition is healthy. We believe we're better than them anyway, so we are very comfortable with that. But no, I have absolutely no issues. We see the potential in the region, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're not the only ones seeing it. So we shall see.
In the end, if you have a message for people in Craiova and from all over the region who choose to fly by Wizz,
we are here to stay. We want to be the preferred airline of the Romanian people as a whole. We are proud to be the only carrier in Craiova specifically, so we take that as a responsibility. We hope that this portfolio of destinations is aligned with your interests and desires, and we are anyway in close contact with the local authorities, which help us understand what the market needs. So they are giving us ideas of routes that the Craiova people or Craiova region people will be interested, will be excited about, and we'll look forward to try some of these things out in the future, and hope to provide a reliable, safe, affordable solution for these people to travel. That's it.
Mr. Peneda, I'm looking forward to meeting you face to face, and thank you very much for having me and our readers.
I really hope I might be there when this aircraft starts flying and the opening of the new terminal. So maybe we will cross our paths there.
Thank you again. A good day.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank
day.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.